In the class that I'm teaching, which is an introductory anatomy class at the 300 level, introducing the musculoskeletal system, the goal was to have a learning object that can really bring to life the clinical logic that goes into really applying human anatomy to real life scenarios. And so we use this learning object to help the students walk through a series of scenarios and patient-clinician interactions that would set the stage for that clinical logic that they really need to be able to solve clinical problems by applying their knowledge of anatomy. When I had the opportunity to consider what students were struggling with in this area, I think what I found was that what they struggled with most was visualizing what is going on underneath the skin anatomy. So, for example, we'd be talking about injury to a muscle, and in class I would try to, conjure up images for them about what an injured muscle might look like. I would try carrying my arm in a certain way or try to tell them what to imagine, and what I realized is that what can do that best is really a digital or animated learning object where they have the opportunity to suddenly see below the surface of the skin and be able to not only see different movements of the body, but then see the anatomy underneath it. And I think that's one of the strengths of this type of a digital environment. So when I first started this project, I really had absolutely no idea what it takes to create something like this. I just, when I heard a conversation about what was possible and I started to think about my own class and recognized that there was this, this difficult part for students that I hadn't been able to really help them with adequately yet in class. And so without having any expectations really at all at how this would work, I think I've just been overwhelmed and amazed with how professional the process has been, how it's obvious to me that the folks at CET know exactly what needs to happen next and that they can just carry me along with them through the process. So it's been fantastic, and I also have recognized how there's no way this would have happened if it was up to me to do this on my own without, without this organizational system and structure that kind of, again, carried me along with it. So it's been a fantastic experience. I've been just amazed at the creativity that the individual artists have brought to the table and the unique suggestions that they've had that I couldn't have come up with. And even to the level, one of the things that I didn't expect but has already reaped benefits immediately was the help in breaking down the information into discrete pockets of information that students are trying to digest and put it together in maybe a more logical way. And so already when I taught this information this year, I had already begun this project and was able to implement right away some of the help in the pedagogy that went along with the process. And that included, adding a table that Kirsten had come up with just to help herself understand it as a new learner of this topic, the same way that students would. And so that was hugely beneficial right away. And then helping me to really identify what are the different objectives that I have for this body of knowledge. So to be honest, even if the project had nothing to do with a visual outcome in the end, and instead it had just been, the goal had simply been to help students learn this information better, I already was successful. And now we have the enjoyment of seeing what this visual outcome will be, and so I'm very excited about the outcomes that are in our future. We are at the point right now where we've got a storyboard set and we have recruited some voice talent and we have selected some artwork that we think will work best for it. And so we're just in the process of making recordings and double checking storyboards and really finalizing certain animations and whatnot. And being the middle of May right now, we'll be ready to launch this particular learning object for the fall term. And it will be a real crux part of that fall term class experience. Even if you don't have a really sure idea of exactly what you want to accomplish, but you recognize that you have something in your classroom that's either not working or you really sense that what would take students to the level of learning that you're hoping for would be some sort of animation or visuals or something like that. Don't feel like you have to have the answers. Just come with the problem and be ready to work as a team with the people that that are in this interactive media department, because they have in my opinion, such strong skills in understanding pedagogy and understanding how to break down information that you're trying to work with students on and learning, that they can carry you the rest of the way. You just need to know the problem and your goal, and then they can help you to set every step in between. So I would say that it's an incredible opportunity for anybody, and it's such a huge resource that the University of Oregon has that I just urge other teachers that see those types of problems that I saw in my classroom to take them up on this opportunity, because I think you'll be amazed at the quality and professionalism of the end product that you can receive from that. This has been a great opportunity, and also one that I've really appreciated that structure that has gone through the process. I think that sometimes as teachers and educators, we're so wound up in our own world that you need someone to pull you back and to lead you through this type of activity. And that's what I've really appreciated, is the leadership that has been here. You know, I just showed up and said help, basically, and then from then on, you know, I took not the leadership role really, but the secondary assistant role, where I had someone else help me get where I wanted to go, and I just needed to add the content-related information that went with it. And without that, none of this could ever have happened. So I really appreciate the leadership that's occurred there, and I'm very excited about what the outcomes are going to be by the end of this project.